What's up, YouTube? Ryan back today with another sports card video. Today, I'm showing you every single Bowman Chrome first autograph I own. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I've been getting request after request for a long time now to show you my PC, my collection. People just want to know everything I have. So we're going to start doing that with the baseball playoffs coming to an end shortly here and the season ending. Coming into off season, we're going to have less to talk about, especially since a lot of my content's been minor league players. Their season's been over now for a couple weeks. So we're going to go through my collection. I'm going to show you guys some stuff. I'm going to start with my Bowman Chrome First autographs, like I said. Show you guys what I have. Get your opinion on it. Tell you why I have these cards, why I still have some of these cards. Because I really do try to sell my cards no matter what cards they are. Unless they're like close to my heart PC items at what I think their peak is. So a lot of the stuff I haven't sold yet. A lot of stuff I'm holding for future value. I'll go over that as we go through it, but I have my raw stack here and then I have my graded stack here. So we're gonna go through it. Should be a pretty quick video. My goal is with these more categorized videos to be a little shorter, try to get like 10-minute videos a piece instead of like one like hour-long video, which I mean, I'd love to do an hour-long video, but I know a lot of people don't like watching it. I don't like editing an hour-long video, but I do it about every week with my minor league recap anyways. But now we're gonna go through it pretty quick here, and yeah, let's jump into the video today. Before we jump into the video, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think of my Bowman Chrome First autograph collection. It's just gonna be autographs today. Maybe I'll do another one here soon with just non-autographs, because I do have a lot of non-auto Bowman stuff as well. But yeah, let's jump into it. Let me know, give me your honest feedback. Let's do it. All right, let's move the graded cards aside. We'll come back to those afterwards. And I tried putting these in order based on value. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go through and do any comps, so this is just based off what I think. And some players are grouped together because I do have multiple of certain players, so some of that will be different as well. But try to go from least expensive to most expensive. So we're going to go through it here. So our first player here, Bryce Jarvis. This was the Diamondbacks 2020 first round pick. I'm going to get something here. I don't want to give away every card one at a time. I just want to show you guys as we go. So this was a first rounder, 18th overall pick. I was sad they picked him over Garrett Mitchell, but definitely a promising arm. Best changeup out of the draft. So we'll see. He had a pretty good first year. Nothing crazy, but like solid. Next up, this is a Bowman Chrome First base of Terrin Vavra, and this is a guy that was breaking out this year. Like about the first half of the season, he was about the best player in the minor leagues for Bowie. He got traded from the Rockies to the Orioles, and he was just going off. And then he got hurt, and I think he was playing through an injury because he went from like this crazy elite player to like couldn't hit anything for like a couple weeks, and he finally like was officially injured. So I think he kind of messed himself up there, but definitely a promising player out of Minnesota. He was the third round pick in 2018 for the Rockies. I think he's a good player, though. I really do. I think he's going to be a good piece for the Orioles. Next up, and honestly, I don't know the value on this right now. It could be more than some of these next cards I'm going to show you, but I really love Grayson Rodriguez. Favorite pitcher in the minor leagues. He's been my favorite since 2019. Just crazy strikeout rate. I think he's gonna be a top arm in the MLB. I really do. Just the strikeout rate is ridiculous. So as long as he doesn't fall into like walk issues, which he never really has so far, he should dominate at the pro level, because that's the only thing I can see that could possibly hold him back is just command. Next up, we're gonna have a couple Trevor Hauer cards in a row here. So this is the first base, and then I'm just gonna pull them all out. We got the base, we got the refractor, and we got the sparkle. So we got 3 Trevor Hauer cards here. See if I can get them all on the screen for you. These are the only ones I have. I'm really trying to form a better PC of Hauer because I do really think he's going to be a good player. He just gets on base a lot. I think he had just about a 400 on base percentage his first pro year. He is 22, so he's a little bit on the older side because he did go to college. He's from ASU. He's from Chandler, Arizona, where I grew up, and he went to ASU, which is my favorite college. So little happy note on Trevor Hauer there, little hometown guy. So rooting for him. Definitely want to expand my PC. I have a lot of non-auto stuff of him, but that's what I have of autos. I just think he's a really solid lefty bat. I think he projected better when he was on the Yankees. He just got traded from the Yankees to the Rangers during that Joey Gallo trade at the deadline, and I just think he's a really good left-handed bat. I think the reason I say I think he fit better in the Yankees because that's short porch in right field. I think he would eat there. But the Rangers, they're an up-and-coming org. Like, people don't underestimate what that Rangers team could be. Like, they have like 10 guys that I could see being, I don't want to say all-stars, but like really solid players. Like, I think that team's going to be good, like really good before we know it. Like, give it like 3-4 years, I think the team's going to be really, really solid. Next up, I think we have yellow here. And this is one I pulled myself. This is Joey Cantillo. This is 41 out of 75. This is the yellow. This is an interesting player. 16th rounder in 2017. And I'm going to look at his numbers really quick just so I can get a refresher because he was really good when I looked him up when I pulled him. All right, and I just pulled up his stats and another solid year. I think he was injured at the beginning of the season, so he only had 2 starts, 7 appearances, only 13 innings, but 2.7 ERA. His career ERA in the minors is 2.53. Which is pretty nuts. He's with Cleveland now, so he's not with the Padres. I wish he was just because, you know, the Padres are going to be really good for a while, but good arm, and that's why I'm holding it. I think he's going to be really solid lefty, and he's still young. Next up, and I got to try to go a little bit quicker here, Slade Cecconi, first rounder as well for the D-backs. He was the, I think, 33rd overall pick, still technically the first round. This is the Sparkle Auto. Promising arm out of Miami, out of the U. Throws hard, has good stuff. A little bit of command issues, though. So we'll see. I'm just kind of keeping him because he's a D-back and the value isn't crazy. I think this is only like a $30 card right now. So he had a decent first year. It was like low 4 ERAs. Like nothing like amazing, but nothing to like be super afraid of either. Next up, we have a base Trevor Larnach auto. And man, talk about a player I really thought was going to dominate in his rookie year, and he ended up getting hurt and going back down to the minors. He was looking super solid when he first came up, and then I don't know what happened, but he just couldn't put that bats together that he was. Ended up hitting like, I think like 220 or 230. It was pretty rough. But I see him having a bounce back year next year. I really do. I think him and Alex Kirilloff stay healthy next year, and that Twins team gets better. Like, they actually compete next year. We'll see. We'll see. A little biased. Next up, Tristan Casas, Bowman Chrome base auto. A lot of base stuff. And I also pulled this one myself out of just a single pack at my card shop. So happy there. Tristan Casas, one of my favorite power bats in the minor leagues. I think he has the most power in the minor leagues. Dude's gigantic. I think now, right here, he's 6'4", 238. I think now he's like 6'4", like 248, like, or 258. He's like a gigantic person, and he's not fat. Like, I think he easily can hit 50 home runs in a season if he stays healthy. And even if he hits like 260, he might hit 50 home runs. Like, it is ridiculous the amount of power he has. Just look up some of the home runs Casas has hit. It's dumb. Next up, Jordan Groshans. This is Refractor Auto out of 499. This is one of my favorite prospects in the 2018 draft class. He was the 12th overall pick. He's dealt with some injury issues. He stayed healthy this year, though, for the most part. I think he played a few less games than normal for like preventative rest days, but he had a full season, did pretty decent. I would hope his power numbers spike a little bit more next year maybe, but you know, I think he had a solid year for his first year in Double-A. I think he had like 280. So I think he's going to be a good piece for this Blue Jays offense, and I think he's a reason why they were able to trade away Austin Martin without like batting an eye because they know he's there. Next up, Jazz. Jazz had an okay rookie year. I wasn't expecting anything out of him this year because last year he was not good when they brought him up. He was just not ready. Even in the minors, if you look at his numbers, his hitting is just not there. His power is there, and he showed a little bit of that this year as a rookie, but he's still young. He was born in 98. If he ever can hit like 280, oh wow, watch out. This dude he has the talent to be like the best shortstop in MLB. He really does. Like, he has the talent. He just has to figure out the offensive side of things and not swinging out of his ass every single swing he takes. Next up, Mason Martin. This is one of the guys that are low-key sleepers for me, low-key prospects. Someone that, I mean, I paid $30 for this. This is a Sparkle Auto out of 299. He hits a ton of home runs. Back-to-back years in the minors with 30 home runs now. The dude just He hits tanks, and I think he's going to keep hitting tanks. I think he only hit like 240 this year between AA and AAA. It was his first time up in that level of competition, which honestly, I see him as like a 250, 260 hitter at best, but I see him hitting a lot of home runs. So we'll see. We'll see. I think he's a promising little player. I like his swing a lot. He's fun to watch. When he connects on a baseball, he murders balls. Next, Luis Matos, one of the best hitters in low A, and I'm shocked that they kept him there all year because he dominated. But I pulled this myself out of 2020 Bowman Chrome last year. Super fun. Love his autograph. Definitely holding on this one for the long run, because if the Giants, the Giants are super solid now, but if they want to become that dynasty, that their farm system honestly is cooking up, he's going to be a huge piece in that. Him and Marco Luciano, if they pan out, going to be a disgusting duo. Like, ridiculously disgusting. Next up, we got some red here. This is my only red. I only ever pulled red, and still the only one I own. And I didn't pull this, actually. I hit it in a break with Firehand cards. 3 out of 5. Red Wave, Slade Ciccone. I already talked a little bit about him. And it's only like a $300 card last time I checked. And honestly, that was a while ago, so it might be less than that now. So I'm kind of just taking the risk, hoping that he turns out. Because, if not, it's still a short printed card. I think I paid like $100 to get into the Diamondbacks break for this, or maybe even less. But, I'm just kind of risking it to see. He has the stuff. Like, I would hate myself if I sold this card and he like ended up being the D-backs ace. So, kind of just holding it to see what happens. If not, it's my only red, so. All right, next up, and this is the last raw card, and actually hit these two, I think, in either the same break or back-to-back breaks. 2020 Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor, AJ Vukovich. Vukovich is going to be good. He was solid his first year. He was the 4th round pick for the Diamondbacks this year, but he was ranked top 5 in power out of the draft class. And he showed a little bit of it this year. Didn't hit a crazy amount of home runs, and honestly, wasn't insane at low A, but when he came up to high A, he actually did better. He hit like 270 at high A, which was really promising. And, big frame, he's 6'4", 6'5", 210. He was a basketball player in high school that averaged like 27 points, like super athlete type of player. So I have high expectations, honestly, for AJ Vukovich. I'm putting together a little PC of him. I have a few of his Sapphires. I want to pick up more Sapphires of him because they're so cheap. You can pick up a Sapphire for like $5. But that's going to do it for a raw. When we'll slide that aside, and we'll get into the graded cards. All right, I'm not going to lie, I just went through another box really quick, and I found more Bowman Chrome first autographs. So we have Nick Schnell. I honestly don't have too much to say about Nick Schnell. He's nothing crazy. He's just like a low-end guy that I've just been holding just to see what happens. We have Grant Levine. This was supposed to be a very promising player. This was the first-round draft pick back in 2018 for the Rockies, 42nd overall. Does a lot of things right, but just hasn't really put it together. Honestly, I've had a lot higher hopes for him. Up next, and this is probably the best 11th rounder drafted in the last 15 years, Vaughn Grissom. Really solid. This dude's been super solid all year, his whole MLB career now, over 2 seasons. I think he's hitting over 300 in both seasons now. Like, I think he had a 400 on base percentage too this year in his second year. Very solid player with Vaughn Grissom. And hey, you love seeing 11th rounder succeed. Then we have Luis Arraez, one of the hardest outs in baseball. I bought this card for $5. Usually, at the end of every year, I'll go back and I search through eBay and I just type in Bowman Chrome autograph, and then I look for really cheap ones. I filter like under $10, and then I look up stats and I say, does this dude look like he has a promising future? And this is one I bought. I think he hit like 330 in his first year, and I was like, this dude's got to be decent, right? Got to be decent if you hit 330. And, he's honestly one of the toughest outs in baseball now. He's such a good leadoff hitter. He just, bat-to-ball skills are ridiculous. He's going to hit close to 300, if not over 300, for his entire career. Like, very good hitter. And then lastly, Nick Madrigal, another one very similar to Arraez. Just amazing singles hitter. Absolutely love Madrigal. Talk about it all the time. Him and Xavier Edwards are compared to a lot, and I also put Arraez in that category. Like, hitting's too easy for him. They just are gonna hit 300. Like, they're not power bats, but they're just gonna hit 300. That's just what they do. It's ridiculous. All right, first graded card, and we're gonna see a ton of different values here. So first one, 2017 Bowman Chrome base, PSA 10, Nick Senzel. You know, I'm a Nick Senzel fan. I have his jersey up there. I have a lot of his cards. And, you know, at first, they were just kind of like PC stuff. And then they were investment stuff where I saw opportunity. And now I'm kind of not sure where Nick Senzel's at because he cannot stay healthy. So I'm just kind of holding and hoping. The talent's there. And I absolutely love watching him play. Like, when healthy, like, I would love to see Nick Senzel be the center fielder for the Diamondbacks. Like, I think he is an electric player that can change the game when he's on the field because that dude can steal a base at any time. He can hit a home run at any time. The dude can make a diving play at any time. He's just a really good athlete. So I'm hoping he can turn it around. He's had a really rough start to his MLB career with injuries. So we'll see. We'll see. At this point, I'm not recommending anyone to buy Nick Senzel unless they're looking for someone really cheap. Like, really cheap. Next up, 2020 Bowman Chrome PSA 10 Xavier Edwards. You know, this is the Nick Madrigal 2.0. And honestly, he's younger than Nick Madrigal, and he's probably just as good as a hitter. We'll see, but it's just a singles hitter that doesn't get out. And he's super fast, plays good defense, plays multiple positions. Like, this is going to be a leadoff hitter in the MLB for 15 years. Like, unless something crazy happens and he forgets how to hit, because over his minor league career so far, he has like a 320 batting average. Like, the dude just hits. And I know singles hitters aren't crazy and they're not sexy, but look at Derek Jeter's card prices. That dude, I think most home runs he hit was like 18. I don't know if we've ever even hit 20 home runs in a season. So, next up, 2016 Bowman Chrome PSA 10 Nolan Jones. Again, Nolan Jones is just a prospect I'm really high on. I think next year's finally the year we're going to see him. I thought that was going to be this year, but he did show some struggles in AAA, which was weird to me because he dominated AA, and a lot of times, like most of the times, he transitioned really well from AA to AAA from what I've noticed. And, you know, he just didn't. He came out and talked about it, said, you know what, he's got to be better before they can bring him up. So I'm a big fan. One of the best plate disciplines in the minor leagues for sure. Walks a ton. I just think he's going to translate very well to the MLB once he does get there because of his plate discipline. He has crazy pop. And he just has a little bit of everything on offense. So we'll see. We'll see. But a disappointing year for Nolan Jones. Next up, and this was a more recently acquired card. BGS 9.5 with a 10 auto. True Gem Mint. All the subgrades 9.5. This is a 2017 Bowman Chrome Draft Black Refractor auto of Pavin Smith. First rounder back in 2017 for the D-backs. Numbered 69 out of 75. I always have to note that. But, dude, I think Pavin Smith's underrated. As a D-backs fan, they are terrible. And for him to come in his rookie year and consistently hit, I think he ended up, I'd have to look exactly, but right around 270, I think it was. Just all year he was sitting at 270. Like, was super consistent. So, like, a very underrated rookie year, in my opinion. Like, he never even mentioned in the top 10 for, like, top rookies. And I don't really know how, because a few of the rookies they're talking about were terrible. Like, Brian Hayes was bad all year, and they were saying he was top 10. Like, didn't make any sense. But Pavin Smith, he's hit a few home runs. I think he hit, like, 8 or 9 home runs this year. When he connects to a baseball, like, every one of his home runs he hit was absolutely destroyed. I saw every single one of them, and they were murdered. They were so far gone. If he can ever find that consistent in-game power as he develops in MLB, watch out. Like, seriously. Like, not like a crazy, like, oh, Pavin Smith's like the guy, but like he could be. Like, good plate discipline, good bat-to-ball skills, and he has the power. He just has to find it more consistently. Next up, we have 3 more cards, and they are all bangers. We have, and I recently picked this one up, 2019 Bowman Chrome Draft, Green Refractor, Josh Young, BGS 9.5 with the 10. Does have 1.9 on the subgrades on the corners, but, you know, I don't really care that much about the subgrades. Obviously, True Gem Mint would be amazing, but 9.5 Gem Mint from BGS is good enough for me. More than likely a PSA 10 if I was to ever make the transition. But honestly, I like the BGS slabs more. I like BGS slabs more than PSA slabs, and specifically when there's an autograph. I just really like the autograph grade. I think they look really slick. If there's no autograph, I prefer PSA. If there's an autograph, I prefer BGS. I just think the PSA slab looks really crammed when you actually get the auto graded. I don't have the auto graded on any of mine, just the card itself, but like they add another line to that slab that is already pretty crammed if you haven't seen it, and it's just kind of ugly in my opinion. So I always prefer BGS. slabs when it's an autograph, but if not, I prefer PSA. But Josh Young, again, that Rangers system is going to be super solid, and I think he's the dude. He is the guy in that organization. He has been so good since he was drafted in 2019. He was the 8th overall pick out of, I believe, Texas Tech. The dude rakes. Straight up rakes. He is super good, and he had a very good year this year. He's in AAA now and just dominated. Oh, I only have one card left. I thought I had another one. So last card, and I know if a lot of people watch my channel, they probably expected this one. But this one is a 2020 Bowman Chrome Prospect Auto Purple Refractor of Andy Pages. Best power hitting 20-year-old in the minor leagues. Ridiculous. Hit 30 home runs this year. Was super good. Had it over 900 OPS. About a 390 on base percentage. Like, the dude was just solid this year. His batting average is a little bit lower than I'd like. It was like 265, but like when you hit 30 home runs, you get on base a lot. Like, that is fine. He is a very good prospect. He's in the Dodgers organization who develops hitting better than anyone. I didn't mention it, but there is a 9 subgrade on the centering. But Andy Pages, just super solid prospect, and he's young. He's only 20 years old. I don't know. When you just dominate and hit 30 home runs as a 20-year-old and do a lot of other things correctly, and he's a good athlete. He plays outfield. It's not like he's a third baseman, a first baseman who's just relying on his bat. Like, he's a solid defender, too. He's not terrible out there. He's not lost. So, yeah, that is my #1 Bowman Chrome autograph right now. I picked this up for $275, and I think now it's between, like, $400 and $500. There was a pretty close comp at like a $500 card for just the refractor at out of $499. So I think this would have to be more than that. So nothing crazy valuable here. I still really want to make that jump for, like a Spencer Torkelson or a Riley Green, like a top prospect that I really like, and an autograph. But they're just really expensive, like super expensive. Like Julio Rodriguez, you're looking at like just a base autograph. You're looking like between $1,500 and $2,000. It's expensive. These Bowman Chrome autographs are expensive, and I'm happy with what I have. I'm very happy with what I have. I just hope some of these players can pan out. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for the video. A fun one here. It's nice to go over a lot of this stuff. I haven't pulled out all of my Bowman First autographs in a long time, so this was cool. I enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you guys did, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of my collection. Good, bad? Should I sell some of these players? Should I buy some of these players? Like, I'll tell you right now, every single one of these guys I'm holding because I don't think their cards are at their peak. I really don't. If I thought their cards were at their peak, I would sell them, but a lot of these guys are super young still. Like, super young still, or just going to be hitting the MLB. Like, I'm a long-term investor when I talk about any type of sports card investing. Like, I've always been long-term. I've done a little bit of short-term when the peak of the pandemic hit and like everything was crazy, but like I've always been long-term guy. And I think a lot of these guys are long-term. Like, I think the oldest guy in here is Josh Young. I think he's 23 now. Like, he's going to be a rookie next year at 23 years old. Like, that's not bad. That's still really young. Like, if you're debuting before 25 in baseball, like, you're young. And a lot of these guys are super young. So, yeah, definitely long-term for me. But, yeah, give me your honest opinion in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, as always, and you have a great rest of your day. See ya!